wanted to.
Obviously, oil prices are rising after the president said last night that allies should go and take back the Strait of Hormuz. How much does that concern you and what you're seeing today?
Well, we watch all of this. When we look at the American economy, we have a lot of energy resources right here in North America. We have a lot of energy independence, which is it puts us in a very different spot than we would have been 20 years ago. We, of course, look at the energy prices globally. We have a lot of partners around the world. We're watching them. We're staying in contact with them to see what's happening. The president and his national security team are focused on dealing with the objectives of this war as soon as they can. They're not going to put an artificial deadline on it, but the fundamentals of the global energy market are okay. What we're seeing is a temporary disruption because of what's happening.
Can I just ask you, because the French president today said taking it by force is just not realistic, as the president suggested last night?
Well, I'll just defer to our national security team on that. I'm just the trade guy.
Any feedback from the call that Prime Minister Starmer had with 35 other countries related to reopening the strait with force, but also with diplomacy? Do you guys have any comments, any feedback, suggestions?
I mean, I'd suggest you talk to the National Security Advisor on that. I just came back from Africa, where I met with a bunch of trade ministers at the World Trade Organization. So we were pretty focused on just trade-specific issues. We weren't really focused on kinetic actions that may or may not happen in the straits.
So these latest tariffs America's announced are going to hit very hard a country like Australia. Why does a country like Australia, that's been such a loyal ally to the United States for so long, why are we getting hit so hard?
Which ones are you referring to?
I'm talking about the latest pharmaceutical tariffs that are being announced today.
Right. So when you get a chance to look through that executive order and the fact sheet associated with it, you will see that is really focused on a lot of the deals we've made with countries and companies. It doesn't cover generics. It doesn't cover orphan drugs. It doesn't cover a lot of these things. It's really focused on a lot of deals that have already been made with companies who might be making in Australia, might be making in Austria, might be making in France or other places. And so we have spent the past year hammering out deals with a lot of these companies to make sure they're building in America, which they are. We see concrete going in, superstructures going up on new pharmaceutical facilities, companies that are agreeing to charge less here in the United States for their drugs, which they're agreeing to do. And we're also seeing countries like the United Kingdom rationalizing their pricing structure to make sure that everyone's paying their fair share. And so that's really the news about this. It's less what's the tariff level, and it's more all of the actual deals we've been making with countries and companies to make sure that the supply chains are secure and that we're making them here in America. Thank you, everybody.
Generally, so what do you say?